So this is our CO2 supercritical extraction unit. This was built in Europe for us. It's the first machine of its kind built with the European technology, especially by this company for cannabis extraction. So it was purposely built for us for extracting THC and CBD from cannabis plants. This machine can extract in many different ways. What ends up happening, you're putting in your dried biomass, your dried flowers inside this machine, and over a 2 to 4 hour run cycle with different pressures and temperatures and flow rates of CO2, it's extracting the CO2 basically at supercritical and hot temperatures, turns into a solvent, and it just pulls everything out of that dried biomass. So what you're left with is that wax that I was explaining in that last room. Pulling out of my separators, you get this wax, and in that wax is cannabis oil, and that's the separation in the laboratory work that we're doing in the back. But this machine is critical because you have to get that wax, you have to make that wax, you have to suck everything out of that cannabis plant that's in there, the chlorophylls, everything, to be able to do all those separations and then get that cannabis oil out. And that's the machine that does it for us. This is over $1 million piece of equipment, and that's its only purpose is to make cannabis oil.
Very detailed. So tell us, because I know we went to a few different rooms now, and so tell us, just as just somebody who's learning the industry themselves, how many strains or how many products, different type of products do you guys sell? Do you guys get into the edibles? Do you get into everything else, or just tell us?
Right now, currently in Canada, as a licensed producer, I'm only allowed to produce dried flower and sell dried flower or cannabis oil. The cannabis oil can be different strains, it can be different, so there can be lots of differences in the cannabis oil, but those are the only two products we're allowed to sell. There are no legal derivatives yet in Canada. Health Canada said probably about a year after rec starts, or recreation market starts in a month, we'll be able to put some derivatives out to the marketplace, but today isn't that day. So right now it's cannabis oil and dried cannabis.
So for people who don't know really what that means, explain that to take me through a customer's inquiry. So if I'm just a customer and I found you online, I say, oh, I want to find out more about this company, and can I buy what I'm looking for? So I'm calling you up. Hi, what do you offer?
We depending on, and the doctors have a large role in play in what the patient's going to be allowed to have, because there's many doctors that will actually prescribe THC caps, maximum values of THC, so which cuts out a portion of what they can buy from me. Instead of 10 dried strains, they're down to maybe 3 dried strains to stand to that 15%, because that seems to be what the doctors are prescribing these days. But it's we have ranges of dried flower, dried cannabis with high THC and low CBD, and then on the opposite side, 2-to-1 blends that have twice the amount of CBD as opposed to THC. So we have strains and all strains in between, sativas, indicas, all kinds of things that have different medicinal values. So that's on the dried side. But then you have equivalencies in cannabis oil as well. So a lot of people just don't want to smoke cannabis. They don't want to have smoke in their lungs. There are lots of people who enjoy ingesting it that way, and there are people who don't. So the people who don't, they want to have the medicinal value of cannabis in oil form. Well, they'll just buy us by our equivalency. So if we're going to get a 1 gram prescription from a doctor, we'll say for dried or for oil, our equivalency in oil for 1 gram is 6 milliliters. So if you're going to take 6 milliliters of cannabis oil, that's the equivalency of 1 dried gram of product. So you can take that in oil form. Just put a couple milliliters under your tongue at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner, and then you've just had your 1 gram a day prescription.
Or you can still smoke it.
Or you can still smoke it. You have your choice. Now my client care team will help walk you through that entire process. If you're new to cannabis, we'll be promoting the oils. Oils are much easier to ingest. They're easier to just put in a drawer. And as I said, a lot of people just don't like smoking because it's just not healthy.
And price ranges for our viewers? Are there certain type of price ranges?
Our prices range from $8 to $12 for our dried flowers per gram. Higher the THC, the pricier the product is. And our cannabis oils are right in the middle of the industry average, and I don't have that number off
Okay.
the top of my head per milliliter. I'm not 100% sure.
And do they order online and that's how they get it, or?
So that's correct. So if you have a prescription from a licensed physician in Canada, that prescription, the doctor fills out a form, a document. The patient will fill out a document. All those documents will come to my client care team. We reach out. We will talk to you, especially if you're a first-time user. We'll help guide you through the process of what we feel that you should have depending on your ailment. Or if you're a veteran and you already know, then you just go on our website.
Okay.
You put in your 16-digit code, your unique identifier that tells you that you're a patient of Green Relief, and then you can go ahead and go fill your order with whatever products you want to use on our site.
And delivery time usually?
You have your choice of priority post, which is 3 to 5 days through Canada Post, or you can pay an upcharge for a courier service, which in some cases you'll get it the next day.
And I noticed that you were really adamant, doctor, doctor, doctor. So this is all above board. It's all through Health Canada, through what RCMP, whatever, right? It's all everything. I know it is. I just want to make sure my viewers, because again, people are so new to this. Some people probably think, I still don't know anything about this. So this is great.
The only legal way to get cannabis in Canada, whether it's cannabis oil or a dried flower, is through a licensed producer. I am one of 100 licensed producers in Canada, and there's the only legal channels. What you see on the streets currently in the shops and online deliveries and other things, availability for cannabis in Canada are all illegal. None of them are legal avenues for anybody,
Illegal.
but they are illegal shops and online services. Licensed producers are the only legal way to buy cannabis in Canada, and the only way to get cannabis today from a licensed producer is if you're a medical patient. October 17th is going to change all that. Now you can buy recreationally, but until October 17th, you have to have a prescription to buy cannabis in Canada.
And October 17th is not going to change your formula at all, like yours.
No,
Yours going through, right? Yeah.
we're medically focused.
Yeah.
The recreation market is not on our radar. Number one, I don't have the capacity to supply that market until we start ramping up and going some of our satellite buildings. But we're a medicinally focused company.
That's
we want to
great.
help people with the medicinal value of this plant and explore the science and make the CBD, THC compounds and blends that will help you with your migraines, with your pain, with your whatever your medical issue is. We want to be able to help you with perfect compounds that will target specific ailments. So that's the evolution of the science that we want to bring into this game.
And obviously with such a dynamic establishment and location, that obviously all four political parties must be on board, because otherwise you wouldn't be here. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we started, the Progressive Conservatives were in. Now the Liberals are in, and as we know, Mr. Trudeau's changing the game with legalization. And listen, I think all of the parties know prohibition's over. It's time for this to happen. Cannabis has been a huge cost to our correctional institutions. It's been a huge cost to the government. Now we're just kind of legitimizing an industry, and its time has come.
Well, I think it's a great thing you're doing. Now, again, we're here with the CEO and co-founder of Green Relief. We're here with Warren Bravo. He's taken us through his dynamic location. We're out here at Flamborough, Hamilton. Wonderful. It's all positive, all about helping people who really need help. So again, Warren, if people want to find out more information, where could they go? Could they contact you directly?
They can. Well, if they're looking for information on what we can do and how we can help you, our client care team, we're second to none in this industry in Canada today. I have a very devoted client care staff that will help guide you through this whole process. If you don't know what to do, call them. They'll help you through it. They'll get you the appointments. They'll help guide you and get you on the path to using cannabis to help you medicinally. That would be the first start for anybody who has information. Go to our website. Check out our website at www.greenrelief.ca or .com. And we're here to answer questions. We're here to help. So if people have questions, they can reach out to me directly. If they want to know more about aquaponics, our client, anybody in this facility is we're an open book.
And I know your location is very easy to get to. So that's great. So we're just here on Highway 6, right? Off Highway 6?
That's correct. The public cannot come to our facility. It's
There you
not.
go.
It's not open. Nobody can come here to pick up their prescriptions. We have to physically mail
There you
from
go.
this location to
That's good to
your
know.
home.
That's great. Now, do we want to continue on?
There's probably a few other places you might want to see. So
Sure.
we'll
Okay,
show
so
you
we're
how
just going to
we-
continue on here a little bit. We're almost finished the tour out here at Green Relief here in Flamborough, Hamilton, being walked through by Warren Bravo. He is the CEO and co-founder of Green Relief. We're very honored, very excited, very happy that we were invited here today by Warren and his team. Behind Warren, you can see he has his PR team along with their marketing. It's a whole shindig here. It's great. I love it. I love it.
Lots of moving parts. Absolutely.